Every week at Wimpole Road, and open to anybody else who wants to join us, we're sharing morning prayer on a Tuesday and Bible study on a Thursday, shared completely with our Anglican brothers and sisters at St Stephen's. It's my turn to lead this morning in the prayer meeting, and I shared with them how they have become to me like family. Their encouragement has been priceless. We've shared such sorrow and grief, such laughter and joy. Every single week since March last year, bar a short break for Christmas, we've been together. It's been one of the most inspirational and best bits of this pandemic year. Every prayer meeting, we share in morning prayer from the Northumbrian Community Daily Prayer that's available free online. Just log into the Northumbrian Community website and you'll find their daily prayer resources for morning, midday, evening and compline every day. Morning prayer contains 3 short readings, normally just a couple of verses, and these are the 3 that we shared this morning. Psalm 67 verses 1 and 2. May God be gracious to us, bless us and keep his face to shine upon us, that your way might be known upon the earth, your saving power among the nations. Then there was a short reading from Proverbs chapter 4, verses 23 through 27. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Put away from you crooked speech and put devious talk far from you. Let your eyes look directly forwards and your gaze be straight before you. Keep straight the path of your feet, and all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or the left. Turn your foot away from evil. And then 2 verses from 1 Peter chapter 5, beginning at verse 5. In the same way, you who are younger must accept the authority of the elders. And all of you must clothe yourselves with humility in your dealings with one another. For God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that he may exalt you in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. I always share the readings out when I'm leading morning prayer. And this morning, the lady who read the second of those readings from the Psalms, she read from the Message. From Proverbs. She read from the Message, which instead of the version I said about keep straight the paths and your ways will be sure, which speaks to my mind about being steadfast, walking on the foundations of God. The Message said, watch your step and the road will stretch out smooth before you. That made me feel a little uncomfortable, uneasy, disturbed. It sounded like bad theology to me. It seemed to suggest that the road of life would be smooth if we stayed in step with God. The trouble is, life isn't like that, is it? Life, instead, for all of us, whether we're in step with God or not, is full of potholes and uncertainties, uneven ground that falls away beneath us. Life is always a strange and at times horrible mix of the good, the bad and the ugly. Some of us, maybe most of us, at various times, only seem to live through the bad and the ugly. Those of us struggling now with health concerns or deep grief or sadness and loneliness in these pandemic days, we know that we can be in step with God and that the road can be anything but smooth. Which started me thinking about the many ways in which we allow bad theology to divert us from the living hope of God. In the prayer meeting this morning, I challenged this idea that being in step with God made the path smooth. Can I encourage you to do that too? When you encounter bad theology, let's speak out words of faith. Let's speak out words of hope. I prefer not to get lost in arguments about whether we're in step with God and therefore life will be smooth, with that magnificent way in which the 1 Peter reading ended, that tells us something about the nature of the God we worship. Peter writes, cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. I think Peter knew that the road can sometimes fall away from underneath us, that it can be anything but smooth. And we can know the God who says, cast all your anxiety on me, for I care for you. God bless you. May you know good theology and not bad.